Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? How are you all this morning? Yes, a little bit coming up on the 11 o'clock noon hour coming up, right? Listen, today, on the shocking truth as I see it today, right? I got so many letterboards now, folks. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm even putting pictures on letterboards real quickly. There's my customized van from back in the 70s and my 74 Pontiac Catalina convertible, but that's neither here nor there, folks. No, not at all. Today, on the shocking truth as I see it, I want to talk about First Amendment auditors in more detail than I have in the past. And you'll notice no daily facts. I don't have anything planned in front of me other than two little post-it notes. And this one basically names four of the First Amendment auditing agencies I want to talk about, as well as just a note to me, First Amendment auditors, according to what can be seen in public, and the theory of there's no right to privacy in public places. That's where I'm going with this, folks. You see, First Amendment auditors can audit federal properties, they can audit city and state, they can audit anywhere, particularly where there is public access. It can be a sidewalk, a public easement, which typically runs about 6 feet from a curb into a property, right? There's a public easement. You'll see fire hydrants, you'll see water meters, you'll see things like that because it's public access, right? Which means if there's no sidewalk, you can walk on the first few feet of grass or gravel or whatever's there, right? But anyways, that's what I want to get into this about regarding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's what all of this is about. Missing, I'll just bring this up for a second. He's been missing since February 25th, a Sunday night after his last dinner with his mother, Katie, who lost him after that, right? She said she took him home and he vanished like a ninja. Come on, folks. Last person to see him alive. That now, as a parent, really does very little to try to find her son, at least in my opinion, at least from what I see. But anyway, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, the neat thing right now, the really big thing is a $500,000 reward, $500,000. That's a $500,000. Surely, I don't mean Shirley Temple, I mean surely somebody wants this money, right? Now, First Amendment, how does this tie in with First Amendment auditors? Well, Sebastian's been missing over a year and a half. I mean, what can we do differently than has been being done? Sumner County Sheriff's Department say they have no clues as to what's going on. They're clueless. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, nothing to report. So is this a cold case filed now? What is going on when law enforcement says we have nothing to disclose when, correct me if I'm wrong, Freedom of Information Act that allows, and the auditors know how to do this, how to get that information, body cam footages, any kind of video recordings, any record that has been made. First Amendment auditors know how to get that information. And I would say they could get it to us. And if we work together with First Amendment auditors, and I don't care who gets the reward, I'm not after that money. No, I'm after finding him and what happened to him, right? So why don't we try to enlist, I was going to say weaponize, that's the wrong word, because we don't need weapons. We need to enlist intelligence, right? We need to enlist like-minded people who are looking for good and positive things to find out what happened to this young man, who's guilty, who's not guilty. So many fingers have been pointed in so many directions. Now I want to talk to you First Amendment auditors that might be stumbling onto this very live stream, whether live or on the rewind on X or Facebook, or I got to get on Instagram here, but you First Amendment auditors, and I posted a couple of your logos or your screenshots, and I'm mentioning Amendment Press. They were the first father and son auditing team that really caught my eye and ear about 2 years ago. And they're still going strong and doing very well. And I know they've covered the country and they're doing all these things, but Amendment Press, and I want to encourage you to give this a little thought. The First Amendment. You guys know this. I'm going to read it to those of us who don't know it. This was a Constitution of the United States dated Monday, September 17th, 1787. 87? 1787, 1887, 1987. That's almost 250 years ago. And it still holds true today. And the First Amendment auditors know this. First Amendment to the United States Constitution, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech. Okay, well, that's not what we're talking about. Or of the press. That's what we're talking about, right? Freedom of the press, or the right of the people, okay, peaceably to assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. Come on. We need to redress our grievances to the government of Tennessee, or whoever's in control of the Tennessee systems and law enforcement agencies that aren't coming forward with any information. Somebody needs to hold somebody accountable here, folks. And McGesson Press is one of them. Another one is one I really like to watch. He's a young man. I believe he's out of Ohio, and might be down in South Carolina now. I'm not sure. But First Amendment Protection Agency, also known as FAPA, F-A-P-A. The First Amendment Protection Agency, same thing. What he likes to do is go and stand in front of dispensaries, on the sidewalk, on the street, and banks, and recording people as they go in and out doing their business. People lose their stuff over him, and he knows the laws and how to maneuver within them, not how to get around them, but how to maneuver within the laws. That's what First Amendment auditors do for us, we the people. There's another one, and some of you may not like or care for this guy too much. Depending on the time of day and what he's talking about, I like to listen to him, or I did. I still do. JLR Investigates. I think that's Jonathan Ritchie, if I'm correct. Again, a man that covers so many news cases. Jonathan Ritchie, if you are listening to this or you see this, please look into this case of Sebastian Rogers, missing autistic teen out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. All you got to do is type his name in, Sebastian Rogers, and you'll discover a plethora of information that leads nowhere. Come on, we need help. And then the fourth one I want to mention today, and I'm going to look for others to talk about next week and go into more detail into this, is auditing Erie County. I've watched a lot of his stuff too, and he's all about protecting our rights, right? And getting answers when we can't seem to get answers, right? Now, all I want out of this, again, I don't want the reward. You auditors out there, go after that $500,000 reward. If you help solve this case, you definitely deserve that, right? Right? You feel me there here? And you know I do. But after leaving Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee with his mother, he was 15 years old, 5 foot 5 inches, approximately 120 pounds, with blonde or brown hair. Now, this description, I believe, presented by the parents has made it even more confusing. Listen to the description. Sebastian Rogers, I read all that already, with his mother with blonde or brown hair and brown or hazel eyes. What else we got? I had to hide it up. Black frame glasses. He left home with nothing, right? His shoes are not missing, and he doesn't like to walk barefooted, proud-footed or barefooted. Proudfoots is the stepfather involved in this case somehow, some way. Didn't take his phone or his gaming devices. Didn't take any snacks. Yeah, he's a high-functioning autistic teen, but he's not stupid. I've seen videos of him talking, making jokes about green tea, right? That's what the green's about. Green, Sebastian, the green teen, autism. That is not a reason to get rid of your child, ever. That's not a reason to stop looking for your child, ever. It's not a reason to go dark. In a world where everybody is on social media now, for any parents, and there's another case where the mother of a missing child stopped talking about it when people started looking at her suspiciously. I mean, come on. If you're looking for your child, I would be consumed every day, every hour, I don't know about every minute, but every hour of every day, I would be consumed about trying to find out, where is my child? What happened to them? You know, what happened to Sebastian? I was listening to another YouTuber, and I don't know what it is. She had something out there. If you want to ask a question, she'll do a reading for $5, $10, $20, and $25. I'm thinking, is that what you're selling? You're talking about Sebastian possibly being in I don't know the words you were using, like a safe house for endangered children, that the parents could have just relinquished their rights and he went into some assisted living place. Come on. Yet across the bottom of your screen, you keep putting out there, hey, give me some money and I'll do a reading for you. Really? I don't want any money, okay? I don't want anybody's money when it comes to Sebastian Rogers. I want you to use your money to help find Sebastian Rogers, right? Those are my notes for today, really just the two little things. First Amendment auditing. You know, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it right now. I'll show you a couple things while I got you here, okay? So you just go, let's see, I did this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. That's how big it was supposed to be. We'll close that down. We'll just open up a new window. We'll go to YouTube. Oh, look, the best channel on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want, hit the join button. I want to get the memberships going again. We'll see about that. But this is what I want to show you. So you go to YouTube, you go up into the search box here, and you type in Sebastian, Sebastian Rogers. And here comes stuff popping up. 3 days ago, oh, this is what I was listening to more, is Sebastian Rogers secretly living in a residential home. Now, here's the problems I have with that. Residential homes are generally state-funded and under scrutiny, right? So if he's secretly living anywhere and there's any matter of record, because most of these places want to know about the child, medical records, are they up on their immunizations, school lessons, all of that type of stuff, all that information goes somewhere and is then disseminated, right? If he's living in a residential home, there's no way it could be kept that secret. You know, you say, well, maybe he's in the abused children underground railroad system. Is that another term for child trafficking? Think about what you're talking about. Underground child railroad system. So here's from 3 days ago, Sebastian Rogers' major new facial recognition surveillance mission. I love this stuff, folks. There's so many people that really are trying to do stuff. New footage reveals dark secret in Sebastian Rogers' case. To me, that's a clickbait. No offense, Mob Crew, but why don't you put it in? Put the footage. Tell me what the. You get it. 1 year ago, 7 months ago, Dog the Bounty Hunter's in on this case right now. At least we're not hearing too much from him, but he is a figurehead. And if it's another way to get Sebastian's name out there, then we need to do that. Here's a live podcaster now. Granny's watching. Was their focus ever on Sebastian Rogers? You know, here's the problem I have, and I don't want to fall victim to this, so I'm going to tie this up rather quickly here. But people that go online for an hour and 41 minutes, I mean, you're just racking up YouTube minutes to get paid. I get it, because who's ever going to go back and listen to a 2-hour rewind, right? I call them rewinds. But, I mean, some people go off the hook. The Lore Lodge, 2 hours and 59 minutes and 54 seconds. 3 hours, 7 months ago, hoping that people will stumble in and just watch them ramble and mumble. And I mean, how many times have you said the same thing if you're talking for hours every day? You've got to be saying the same information over and over and over to people that really aren't just, you know, you got your loyal followers that do gift memberships and all that stuff. Great. You're making money. You're doing what you want to do. But have you forgotten the real reason? Instead of just discussing the case and talking about what we know already and what we see when we look and what we share our opinions on, why don't we talk about doing something that's going to make a difference in this case? That's what I try to do every Tuesday. I try to poke the bear, right? I try to incite your imagination and the thought process to get you to think something different outside of the box, that we do something we have never done before. Not only in this case, but in all missing children's case. This is the first case I'm following. And I will be talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers every Tuesday as long as I'm alive, on YouTube and among the upright, until we know what happened to him. And the sooner we know about what happened to him, the sooner I go to another case. Maybe I'll do 2 other missing children's case. I'm blown away and I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it's like 750,000 children are missing in the United States every year. That's like 750,000 children. It's almost 1 million children a year in the United States going missing. And there's a big percentages that are parental kidnappings or whatever. We need to do something now to protect the children of tomorrow, of today, of the future. Aren't they important enough to you? Aren't your children important enough to you? Katie? Chris? I know Seth. I know Sebastian's important enough to Seth, but I question you others. From Chris and Katie to relatives and friends of theirs to YouTubers and podcasters that talk for more than an hour. You're not network television. Stop wasting the time of people who might have the mind and the wherewithal to come up with a different way to find out what happened to Sebastian. 2 months ago. I mean, it's just some crazy stuff. Now, Silver's on the scene. Is this him? No. Silver's on the scene. Now, he does something I like to watch. He goes out, boots on the ground. He says Sebastian's name. He routinely goes out and looks at places. Now, I'm 10 hours away. I can go out and look, and I will. I don't have a problem with that. I've gone out and done live streams in the woods looking, because you never know what you'll find until you open your eyes and go look. Right? Okay. I've rambled too much, folks. That's a wrap for today. And I hope and pray that every one of us here watching this, whether live or on the rewind, I hope and pray that you'll be led to hope and pray for answers in this case, because we will find them. Oh, I was going to say, I recognize that. That's from SubaruSteve. I think it was last week, 6 days ago. Last week's Shocking Truth was the Proudfoot mysteries. You want to hear some interesting ideas? I think there were like 10, 15 things I noted on that. Now, that was a 30-minute. That's about the longest I really ever go, is 30 minutes. And if I go 45 minutes, that's very rare. But folks, it's all about Sebastian Rogers. It's not about me. It's not about you and your podcast. It's not about anything else other than finding out where Sebastian is and how he got there. How is it possible? How did it happen? We will find out. You know why? That's right, because all mysteries eventually get solved. High five and out from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I am SubaruSteve Montgomery, hoping and praying that the answers are uncovered sooner than later. Peace.